Well, hello there, my beautiful friends. It is time for Pay or Stay Away, where we take a look at things that have been announced in the makeup world and what has been announced for this week and decide whether or not we want to spend our hard-earned coin on them. So if you are interested in seeing what is new in the makeup world, then go ahead and keep on watching and let's jump right on in. I am legitimately sitting on the floor like Japanese style at dinner right now, so we better make this one quick because my toes are already starting to go a little bit numb. But the first release that we're going to chat about for this week is from Colourpop, of course. How could we not talk about this new release? And this is the Sailor Moon collection. Oh my god. I cannot believe that they actually came out with this, and I cannot believe how quickly and like abruptly and suddenly this hit the beauty community. It just kind of came out of nowhere. But this collection is available as of now, and it includes a buttload of things, so hold tight. We have the eyeshadow palette, which has 12 different shades for $20. Then we have the blushes. There are 2 different blushes in the shades from the Moon, which is a matte soft magenta, and Cat's Eye, a shimmery soft watermelon pink for $12 a pop. There are also some glitterly obsessed pigments, which I believe are just like jelly, glitter, lemon head type scenarios, and they retail for $9 each. There are also some new lip bundles, which individually are $8, and in the bundle you can get, I believe, 3 different lip products for $15. I don't really care that much about lip products, we all know this, but this collection is so cute. Oh my goodness, the packaging is adorable. The entire theme is adorable. Of course, it's nostalgic to me. I grew up in the early 2000s. I was born in 95, and Sailor Moon was my jam. I think it was everybody's jam back in the day, but I was so obsessed with it. When I was in elementary school, I was absolutely obsessed with everything like Japanese anime, manga, all of it. I was obsessed with it, and I think that Sailor Moon and Tenchi Muyo, if you guys knew what that was, legitimately started off my obsession. So I think that it goes without saying that this clearly hits the nostalgic button a little bit for me and for a lot of people. So when I first saw this collection, I thought immediately, oh my god, I gotta get that. I gotta get my hands on it just because it is Sailor Moon and it is so cute, and it's Colourpop, so it's not gonna be that expensive. I'll be able to afford it. But then I saw that the palette itself was $20. And I know that's not that expensive for an eyeshadow palette by any means. I mean, it has 12 different shades in this palette. That's not that expensive. But for Colourpop, it's a little bit pricey, and I have gotten the 12 pan palettes from Colourpop for like $14 in the past. I believe that they typically retail for $14 a pop. So I know that Sailor Moon's gotta get paid, and I know that Colourpop probably had to pay a pretty penny to get Sailor Moon's name slapped across this collection, but I don't really want to spend $20 on a 12 pan eyeshadow palette from Colourpop unless the colors are absolutely to die for. Unless I look at that palette and I think I need that in my collection. I cannot live with that not being in my collection, not to be dramatic or anything. But I didn't really feel that pull that I usually do and that I thought I would feel to this palette. It's not really, justified for me to spend the $20 on this palette just to get a Sailor Moon palette and packaging, and it hurts me a little bit to say that because I know that I'm pretty sure in the past in other videos I've said that I wanted like an early 2000s nostalgic anime collection from some kind of brand. But I just thought that the colors would be a little bit more exciting. Not that they're not exciting, but I feel like I own every single color that I personally like out of this palette. So I don't need it. I know I don't need it. If I was like an avid Sailor Moon collector, I would probably splurge a little bit, spend the $20, but although Sailor Moon is nostalgic for me, I'm not like an avid collector. Now, I gotta be honest, I'm a little bit of a hypocrite here because if this was like a Sanrio palette or a Hello Kitty palette, which I'm pretty sure the Colourpop has already done, but for some reason, I decided to skip over that at the time, or if this was a cinnamon roll palette, something Sanrio, or God forbid, Animal Crossing. If Colourpop ever came out with either of those themes for a palette, I don't care what the hell the inside of the palette looks like, I would purchase it just because it was Sanrio or Animal Crossing or something like that. But Sailor Moon, even though I have that kind of nostalgic pull to it, it's not anything that I'm avidly searching for. I do, however, love the fact that this is a collection, and you know, Colourpop, like I said, I know that you've done a Sanrio collection or a Hello Kitty collection in the past. How about we bring that back and elaborate and, you know, expand that a little bit, and I will totally give you my coin. Please and thank you. And my poor little toes are currently numb right now. Obviously, I'm sitting on the floor, like I said. I'm experimenting with my lighting and my setup just in general because my videos have been very poor quality lately, let's face it. So I'm trying to fix that, but that basically resulted in me having to sit on the floor, and my piggies are frozen and numb. But let's go ahead and hop into the second release I wanted to chat about for this week, and this one was announced basically a few hours ago, although it had been teased for a while, and this is something new from Huda Beauty. Now, we have basically the two brands that release things left and right here in this week's Players Stay Away, Colourpop and Huda. They are always dropping collections left and freaking right. I cannot keep up. So Miss Huda Beauty is coming out with the Pastel Obsessions palettes. Now, these will be available on March 1st, and they're going to retail for $29 a pop. Now, there are 3 different palettes to choose from, and they all consist of 9 different shades, and these are a little bit different than some of the other palettes that she's come out with before. Now, she's come out with quite a few collections of her 9-pan palettes, and she's basically had a few different categories of colors, if you will. She's had the neon palettes, which I believe were the most recent of her 9-pan palettes. Then she's had the coral and a few different kind of one-off collections. Then, of course, these got super popular because of that initial launch where she came out with a bunch of different types of neutrally toned palettes, and there are still some out of that collection that I don't have my hands on that I eventually want to pick up at some point. Mauve Obsessions, I'm talking to you. Why do you always have to be freaking sold out on Sephora? So clearly she has come out with this type of palette before, but there are some new things in these Pastel Obsessions palettes. Allegedly, according to Trendmood's post here, they are going to include buttery mattes, metallic jellies, which are a new formula, and a unique new next generation shimmer swirl formula. That is very hard to say. And they are coming out in the shades Rose, Lilac, and Mint. Now, I gotta be honest, I think that the overall color selection of these palettes are so stinking cute. Rose and Lilac, I could find homes for those very easily in my collection. They would be right at home here with the kind of colors that I like, and I know I would use them. But I kind of feel like I already own all of these colors. With that being said, I am intrigued by these new formulas. I'm intrigued by anything that has the label jelly written on it. I like the idea of having jelly shadows, even though, like, didn't Colourpop do that forever ago with the Colourpop Super Shock Shadows? And I'm curious to see if these are going to be that type of formula, because as we all know, Colourpop Super Shock Shadows are very inexpensive. So if I wanted this type of formula, and if they are similar to the Colourpop shades, then why spend the money on that unless you absolutely love the color schemes? Now, I'm also interested to see these new swirl kind of tie-dye shimmer formulas that she has. To me, that kind of seems like a gimmick. I don't really know how that would be much different than just a basic shimmer, especially if she's just basically blending together 2 types of shimmers into one pan and just kind of swirling it like you would swirl like brownie cheesecake bars. That's how I imagine it. Clearly my mind is always on food and sweets, but I think you get what I'm saying here. I don't really know how these would be much different from just a standard shimmer. So for 29 bucks, I don't really feel like I need anything from this collection, although I do really enjoy the color selection in Lilac and Rose. I think if I had to pick up one of these, it would definitely be Rose, but I also like Lilac. But like I said, I have these colors, so I don't need to spend 29 bucks on this, but I am curious to see how these jelly shadows are going to be, and if they're going to be any different than Colourpop's Super Shock Shadows. I guess we will just have to wait and see. But let's go ahead and jump right on into the next new makeup release for this week, which is from Glaminatrix Cosmetics, which is an indie brand that recently has made its way into my life, and I have been absolutely loving and adoring all of the products that I've tried from them. And I'll touch on that in just a little bit, but they are coming out with the Easter Pastel Gold Multichromes. I love the name of this collection, Easter Pastel Gold. It's so cute, and I'm automatically intrigued by that name. Now, this collection consists of 6 different pastel, gold, kind of shifting duochromatic shadows, and these are all available now. They retail for $39.66 US for all 6 shades, and I don't believe that you can pick these up separately, or else I already would have done that by now. You have to get all 6 of them, which is kind of a bummer in my opinion, because there are a few specific shades that I personally want to get my paws on, and then there are a few that I think are beautiful but I know I just wouldn't use. And honestly, now that I'm actually looking at these swatches of this little collection here, I do think that I would use more of these shades than I initially thought. But my eyes automatically go to the shade Candy Egg, which is that beautiful like baby pink pastel golden super shimmery shade. Oh my god, you already know, I don't even need to say, but you know that I love these types of colors. And this is just so stinking beautiful. I also love the shade Bunny. I could see myself using that as a highlighter, as an inner corner highlight, as a brow bone highlight. I love like super gold duochromatic shades that almost have a blue tinge to them because they are so duochromatic and gold. Give Me Glow's Halo is like that. It's just so incredibly bright, kind of light gold that it almost has a bit of a blue tinge, and Bunny looks very similar to that, but it looks a little bit more shimmery, which I am totally into. I think the shade Bonnet is beautiful, that beautiful pastel lilac with the gold shift. Honestly, I think the only shade that I probably wouldn't really use out of this collection is Chick. And I do think that I would have picked this up for $36. It's actually a pretty good price for 6 eyeshadows, especially Glaminatrix eyeshadows, which I have come to really enjoy. But unfortunately, I found myself making a purchase from Glaminatrix Cosmetics a few days ago. And then I opened up Instagram after I had already purchased something from them. And granted, they ship from Australia, so the shipping is not cheap, but I've really enjoyed everything that I've tried. I'm wearing one of their highlighters or their eyeshadows right now. Sorry, I just bumped my phone. But I'm wearing one of their eyeshadows as a highlight right now, and I have been absolutely obsessed. This is the shade Sundown, which is a gorgeous, stinking beautiful, like peachy goldy, kind of iridescent, pinky, multichrome. I've been loving it. It's kind of like JD Glow's Chaos, you know I love it. But this is much more shimmery, and I've really been enjoying this as a highlight. So I wanted to pick up a backup of that and also purchase one of their highlighters, so I did. And then I opened up Instagram and I saw that they were coming out with this collection, and I wept to myself a little bit because I had already made the purchase. I already put down the money for the shipping, which was expensive. And if I would have been patient and opened Instagram and looked at their page before I made that purchase, I would have waited a little bit and waited for these to come out, and I would have made the purchase then and there. Now, honestly, I'll probably end up picking this collection up during my next purchase from Glaminatrix, which will probably be sooner than later, especially after I try the new highlighter. I'll probably get the urge to want to purchase more things from them, especially before this collection goes away, so I think I just convinced myself right now that I'll probably pick this guy up. But you know, I was just so bummed when I had opened Instagram and saw that if I just would have been patient, or if I just would have opened Instagram first, then I could have just waited and gotten these sooner than later. But coulda, woulda, shoulda. My impatience had failed me yet again. And the very last thing I wanted to touch on for this week is something that I actually talked about last week in Paris Stay Away, but we just have more information on the collection now, and I figured I would come back to this and elaborate for you guys. But this is the new Bitter Lace Beauty. I almost said booty laced bitter Lace Beauty, the candy coated collection. Now, this collection is available as of right now. There are 6 different shades, and you can pick each shade up for $20 each, or 6 for $100. And that might sound kind of spendy, but these are pretty darn big pans. They're not just a typical eyeshadow pan. They are the size of a normal highlighter pan that you'd get from any indie brand. And obviously, we have a bunch of beautiful multi-chrome candy colored goodness here. I think that these are absolutely beautiful. I do find that a lot of these are more blue toned or green toned, and I'm not super into blues or greens, even if they are duochromatic. It's not really my jam. I absolutely love the beautiful like mauve gold kind of red toned multi-chrome in here. It is stunning. And if I were to pick one up, it would definitely be that shade. For right now, I'm not gonna pick this up. I'm basically putting a halt on this guy. because I want to get the Glaminatrix Cosmetics Easter collection, but if I wasn't getting that, I would have already picked one of these bad boys up, and I'd probably already have it because Bitter Lace Beauty has pretty darn fast shipping in my opinion. But for right now, I'm gonna have to skip over it and be good because I'm saving up for the Glaminatrix Cosmetics collection. But this collection is beautiful nonetheless, and I think that if you like these colors, they have amazing formulas from what I've tried. They are so sparkly and shimmery and bright and intense. So if this is your jam, I say go for it. But for me, I'm gonna have to put a little bit of a halt on that and hold back, save my money, and pick up the collection that I think I would use more. You know, doing responsible adult things over here. But I cannot feel my toes even in the slightest anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and end Pay or Stay Away here for this week and get up and stand and stretch my feet out a little bit and hopefully figure out a better filming setup than just sitting on the floor. So hopefully next week I'll have myself straightened out. But let me know in the comments, what are you going to be picking up for this week? Are you going to be getting any of the things I talked about? Is there anything that you liked that I didn't talk about? How do you feel about the Sailor Moon collection? And I'm curious to know what you guys want to see from Colourpop and these other brands who do a lot of collaborations. What do you want to see them do as far as collaborations go? Are you guys with me on the Sanrio collaboration? Because like, clearly a girl like Sanrio, and I would just about die if they actually did that. But if you enjoyed today's video, I would absolutely love it if you gave me a big old thumbs up. And if you enjoy Pay or Stay Away, you enjoy hearing about the new makeup releases, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below to stay in the loop with all of these crazy makeup releases that come out. But with that being said, I hope you are having an absolutely amazing and beautiful day wherever you are. And thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope to see you next time. Bye!